Hello, I'm Helene Oberman, Managing Director of Interior Design Magazine, and I like to welcome you. For more than 30 years, Coverings has been the preeminent event for the ceramic tile and natural stone industry right here in North America. The show provides insight into the best new product introductions, allows one to connect with suppliers from around the globe, and is an endless discovery of groundbreaking techniques, tips, and tricks of the trade. With me today to provide some insider look at the top tile trends at this year's Coverings is interior designer, certified master kitchen and bath designer, Coverings industry ambassador, and my friend and co-host for many years now, Alena Capra. Welcome, Alena.
Hi, Helene. It's great to see you again. And I love talking about our yearly tile trends and Coverings. So I think this is going to be a fun kind of chat about all things trending. And of course, the upcoming show, which is we're returning to Las Vegas. Coverings will be in Vegas this year, April 5th through 8th. It's going to be 4 days of amazing tile trends, show tours. You've got free CEUs, lots of educational opportunities, of course, some demonstrations live on the show floor, and networking. Coverings really is all about networking as well. So there's a lot to see. And I am very excited to share with you guys some of the trends that you'll be seeing at Coverings. We've got a lot to dive into today.
Well, and of course, at Coverings, there are 3 great hosts there, kind of like us being such amazing hosts of this program: Ceramics of Italy, Tile Council of North America, and of course, Tile of Spain. So we are very much looking forward to being in Las Vegas, and Coverings 22 definitely sounds like a must-attend event for the industry. So Alena, before we dive into those tile trends, and I know all of you out there are anxiously waiting to hear for them, but wait just a minute, because we need to learn more about what are the benefits of tile and why interior designers, architects, and installers love to incorporate tile into their projects.
Absolutely, Helene. We love tile, and tile is truly one of the most versatile products for designers and architects to specify. Not only is it beautiful and provide endless design opportunities from indoors to outdoors, flat surfaces, curved surfaces, horizontal surfaces, you name it, you can utilize tile just about anywhere. And we love that it's also extremely durable, scratch resistant, stain resistant, and of course, fire resistant. It's also a healthy product. So there are no VOCs, no toxic chemicals. So as we talk about health and wellness, tile is definitely something that is hygienic and great to specify in your projects, both residential and commercial. So there are so many great reasons to choose tile, but I really love the trends. And that's what we are going to be sharing, because we've got 10 top tile trends for 2022, and they are beautiful.
Well, I just want to say before, of course, we get into those top tile trends, that obviously versatility is key when it comes, obviously, to designers' product specifications. And I know tile fits the bill for their needs. And also just the idea, and we talked about it last year, I think the health and wellness of individuals has really come to the forefront these past few years. And I think it's important to emphasize to designers that tile can really accommodate their needs for designing a much healthier environment.
That couldn't be more true. And I absolutely think that not only because it's a healthy product, and again, no VOCs, no toxic chemicals, we talk about it being so versatile. We've got thin porcelain panels and slabs, stuff that could be utilized on as furnishings for cladding. There's so many other things rather than just individual pieces of tile, but the slabs as well. So it just offers designers and architects so many options. And that's what I personally love about it. And the innovations just keep on going. And every year there are more exciting products and different types of technology that makes everything look more lifelike, more real, and just more beautiful.
Well, with that, I think we're all ready to get into some of those exciting trends that one will be seeing at Coverings 22. As we all know, designers and manufacturers look to the past for inspiration when working on their modern day projects and products. So The first trend, manufacturers are not just looking back to mid-century modern or Art Deco, they're going even farther back to the Baroque.
That is right. We are going back to the 17th century. The Baroque style really dominated art and architecture throughout. And that sort of style of grandeur and just beauty and very striking and bold looks, lots of gold, strong veining in some of the tiles. So we're seeing this beautiful look, this kind of nod to the Baroque styling, but on tile. So everything from the regular sizes to the porcelain panels and slabs. You'll see the gold. Gold is trending in home decor and a lot of the accents and things that we're pairing with tile. So now to have something that brings in those rich gold tones and just this overall beautiful and striking look with that Baroque styling, I think is a great trend.
So I personally think that the Baroque trend really fits into this sort of larger ideal I've been seeing out there of maximalism that really has, I feel like, grown stronger over the last few years and really is all about that sort of wow factor within a space.
It truly is. And I think on like porcelain panels and slabs, that trend of the strong veining and the boldness of a marble look, I think really translates so beautifully, whether it's polished, high shine, or even to a matte finish.
As we all know, design is about tactility. I mean, who doesn't want to reach out and touch something? With that, this next trend is all about taking the flat surface of a tile and taking it to a whole new dimension.
That's right. We're taking it to three-dimensional because we're seeing the bas relief trend really as something that's going to be big for 2022. We've seen a lot of 3D tile trending over the years, but this sort of low relief with the technology that has evolved, allowing the printing techniques to really just create these reliefs, gives so much more dimension to the tile because then we could design and light it properly and really show off the relief. And I think that really enhances just about any design, whether it's an accent wall or something that will really pop. And I love the fact that the technology has gotten so great that we can have tile with all of this dimension and texture.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like every year, the advancement in technology, manufacturers really are able to sort of push the boundaries of surface designs. And it's interesting to see that evolution over the last few years.
Definitely. It really, the high definition printing is bringing us into like the third dimension, 3D tile every year. It's more beautiful and just so much more dimension. It's great.
Yeah, well, definitely bigger, bolder, and more tactility. So of course, we can't talk trends without looking at color. And for this year, there are actually 3 color palettes that have emerged. Okay, so the first one, there are captivating colors that fall very much actually in line with the very first trend that are exploring centuries past for inspiration.
That is right. We are looking back and celebrating ceramics and all of the beautiful colors of the past. So we're celebrating ceramics in color, and we've got a lot of great colors. And for this trend, I've got some actual samples we're going to dive into as well as the beautiful photos that you are seeing on the screen. So the first part of our color palette trend, celebrating ceramics in color, we are looking at a mixture of just soft tones, greens, we're seeing Santorini blue, we're seeing chestnut, warm beiges, rust, and even some terracottas. So it's sort of this kind of weathered tile feel, and also some beautiful pops of color as well, like the Santorini blue. So I think it's a really all-encompassing palette when you're looking for bringing in those rich tones that celebrate the history of ceramic tile.
No, absolutely. I mean, because it's really not just about those colors. It really is, to your point, honoring the history of tile, which, as we know, has a very long storied history. And you can see it in those weathered edges and some of those really beautiful classic glazes. So reminiscent, at least for me, of last year's trend on biophilia, this year manufacturers are still looking towards Mother Nature when developing their color palette of earthy jewel tones.
That is right. We are definitely keeping that trend going. And these rich leafy greens, as you can see on the sample right here, like green has really emerged again in textiles and wall covering and in furnishings. And a lot of what we're seeing, tile complements that. We have this beautiful green, leafy greens, and of course, this clay, this rich clay tone. Those are just some of the jewel tones that we're seeing. Aquamarine, emerald, beautiful brick coloration. So all of these more saturated hues of colors found right in nature. It's a win-win to specify in any design.
Absolutely. I think it really keeps everything kind of grounded, right, within a space when you have those really beautiful earthy jewel tones. But with this next one, manufacturers can't help but look at the softer side of things, even when it comes to those hard tiles. And we are finding that pastels are blooming with this year's introductions.
And of course, coverings is in the spring in April. So what a better time to see spring colors in your tile, these nice light pastels. This beautiful blue, we're seeing soft rose colors and sages and mints. And again, peachy in the first trend and the celebrating the ceramics. We're also seeing peach, but it's sort of crossing over because we have a little bit of that rounding out our pastel colors. And I love it because I think it's really exciting to see a lot of color in tile this year. Of course, our neutrals are always something that are a staple to our designs as designers and architects. So I think there's definitely going to be a lot of great color choices in tile to see at coverings, because this is just a little snapshot. There's so much more.
Sampling, just a little.
Yes.
It's a really good sort of tie-in with what we're seeing in the overall industry. Color of the year is also being pastel.
That's true. We're seeing so much of that. October mist and evergreen fog, all of these tones and in tile, just complementary colors to those pastels are beautiful.
Well, this next trend really highlights the fact that there's beauty and simplicity, and that crisp and clean lines can really bring serenity to any space.
That is right. We always love a clean look and a clean aesthetic. And we're also seeing a bit of an organic approach to that. So when we talk about this crisp, clean trend, we're talking about artisanal textures, sort of an organic feel. And I think that just, think about spa baths and in hospitality of creating soothing, calm environments, the sort of crisp and clean look, I think translates well into just about any design style.
Also, with this tile trend, it may seem a little bit like on the opposite end of the spectrum from some of the previous ones we just looked at.
Right.
But I think it's really important to remember that, I feel like there's always something for everyone when it comes to the offerings at coverings.
That is so true. And that's what I love when we do this. We're doing 10 top trends, but you can literally find something for every design. And I think what elevates it is just the mixture of crossover trends and in one look and one actual design. So there's a lot of tile here to play with when it comes to putting together gorgeous spaces.
Lots and lots of it.
Miles of tile.
Miles of tile. So this next trend is focused on an architectural element that has stood the test of time, from the Roman aqueducts to Baroque cupolas and Art Deco curves. So let's talk about those golden arches.
That's right. We're going back to Art Deco, that influence, and we've got a kind of a mix. So I've got some samples here, and you can see, so we've got something on this particular sample. What I love is we've got the matte and we've got the high shine, the polished look, right? The glaze. And I love that because you can sort of bring that look of this sort of arch tile, but really play with it because of different finishes. And then on the large scale hex, interesting about that is that we've seen hexagon sort of trending and changing and trending over the years, just the way it looks, the size, the color, the print. But I love this, that it's large scale, but we've got these soft rounded corners, bringing in our golden arch trend and that little hint of deco when you see these here. So I think whether it is a smaller tile or large format in this trend, again, there is something for every style, but it all still plays to that arched look that we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems like every trend is sort of leading into the next one, because, that you were saying, even with the clean and crisp lines, they're rounded and, they're more organic. Everything
right.
be going to this sort of more organic, rounded arch kind of.
And we see that everywhere. It's
Yeah.
it's interesting when you think about design as a whole, in furnishings, in so much of what we're seeing in fixtures and things like that, all of the things that complement tile, everything has been getting softer and more curved. So this trend is just such a perfect play to that.
So for this next one, are you looking for something graphic like wallpaper, but want something just a little bit more durable? Then look no further than this next trend, which transforms any wall into a canvas.
That's right. It's all about murals on your wall with tile, not wallpaper. So, of course, wall covering has really been a hot thing. We've seen it over the years, but you can't put wallpaper in a shower or wet areas or outdoors. So, when you think about wall murals on tile, like these samples here, just a little hint, it's incredible because you can create these looks of murals, but it's all weather. The staying power of it is perfect. Nothing's going to happen to it. We talk about the properties of tile, stain resistant, scratch resistant, all of those things. You can't say that about wall covering. So this is a great alternative. And I love that we're seeing these murals, everything from larger format pieces to porcelain panels and slabs. And this particular one, I'm just gonna bring up to the camera so you can see it a little bit more up close. Such a beautiful mix. Now this is a large scale floral, but what's nice about this is there's actually a kind of a sort of a crosshatch behind it. So we've got a mixture of patterns. And what I love about this trend, we've got some stars on this particular tile, everything from damasks to large scale floral to smaller scale floral to all sorts of patterns. Everything that you're seeing on wall covering today, we could see it on tile. And I just think it's a wonderful alternative.
But, speaking of durability, this makes the murals trend great for both residential and commercial projects. And I'm personally sort of envisioning some really great, beautiful public space with a lot of punch in like a hotel or a restaurant. So, obviously there's a lot of options when it comes to using the murals trend.
Definitely. Great trend. And I think an exciting one to see how it evolves, and the more prints and patterns, the better.
So tile no longer needs to look hard and cold, as the warmth and richness of plaster is making its way into this next trend.
Definitely. We are seeing plaster looks on tile. And what I love about this, you mentioned earthy, it's very warm. It's a look that when you think about the contrast of sleek, clean tile on a floor per se, and then this just gives, some of it has some texture, some dimension, looking like very much like an artist, and just kind of just put that plaster on there and trowel it out and just given this rich and very realistic look. And I think when it's on a porcelain, again, all the properties of tile, it's low maintenance, it's durable, but at the same time, it provides a beautiful warmth to the space and soft tones and very soft and muted colors as well.
And I feel this trend offers designers also sort of a cost-effective, as well as being an incredibly durable way to have the look and feel of something like Venetian plaster that I know a lot want in their projects.
That really is such a great point. And when you look at tile as a whole, there's a lot of lookalikes that when it comes to tile, it's such a more cost-effective, not only durable, but a cost-effective way to incorporate a certain look into your project. We had seen in the past sort of stuff that looks like semi-precious stone and some really exotic marbles, and now, of course, plaster and other things. So it really allows sort of the best of both worlds. It's durable, and sometimes it allows the mimic of material that might be extremely expensive, or it kind of bridges the gap and gives you both, which is a great thing.
So one trend that does seem to materialize each year that never takes tile in vain is the many variations of marble. But Alena, how does it differ this year?
So we are seeing a trend, we're calling this polarized marbles. So we're kind of seeing, of course, the white grounds with the gray veining and all that striking veining still is something being used, but we're seeing it shift to more of an organic feel. So the overall aesthetic of this look is more homogeneous, but with a symphony of textures. So there is so much to see with this trend, and who doesn't love the look of marble, but on porcelain?
Exactly. Well, Large scale or pocket size shapes of all sizes, patterns, and configurations are finding a space for themselves in this year's designs.
I love the shape scale trend. Not only because we're always looking for something different to kind of play with and enhance our designs. And I think when it comes to smaller scale tile in different shapes, your design possibilities are absolutely endless. So I want to show you these samples here. So these are just a mix of individual pieces, right? In the triangle shape, and we've got some circles and some other things. And you can pair these together in a variety of patterns, mix up the color. I mean, I absolutely love it that we've got these cute little half moons. We've got diamonds, triangles, trapezoids, and we're seeing them in smaller sizes that you can really just have fun with the design. Here we've got this beautiful triangular shaped mosaic. And again, note the colors we talked about. I want to just cross over quickly on our sort of captivating colors trend. Look at this beautiful array of colors. So we're seeing it on color, but we're also seeing it with neutrals. So having fun with shapes in different scales and sizes.
And I think the opportunity really speaks to designers' love of customization and personalization.
That's right. With this, I feel like no two designs are the same. You could have 10 different designers, each designing with a mix of different colors and shapes, and they will all look different. And that's what we love. We love that personalized touch for our designs.
Mhm. And lastly, we're already there for number 10. I feel a warming trend as natural stone looks are heating up.
That is right. We are on our 10th trend. I can't believe it went so fast. We've got so many different varieties. And I love that this last one, the warm stones look, just sort of rounds out such a great offering of things to work with. And it's that sort of return to that natural stone look, the warmer tones, the sandy beiges, the sort of taupes, and just all of this tonality that feels very natural. We talked about how design as a whole is really going into this sort of very natural and soothing kind of a feel to a lot of the spaces. This is a great trend because it's a complement. It's something that's not standing out so boldly, but it complements it in just a very warm feel.
I think this look at some of the latest tile trends has been truly inspiring. So I am already just thinking of all the interiors and in the outdoor spaces where we will see these tile designs taking shape in the coming months, the year, and of course beyond. So Alena, thank you for all of your insight into this year's trends.
Well, thanks, Helene. It's been great chatting tile with you once again. And of course, I want to remind everyone, don't forget to register for Coverings. Registration is free and it is open on www.coverings.com. So please register today and join us in Las Vegas, April 5th through 8th. At the Las Vegas Convention Center. There is so much to see. We've got the CEUs, we've got the educational sessions, so you can get all that done. You can see all of these beautiful tile trends and more. And of course, there's tours, there's demos, there's so much. So we hope that this got you inspired to come to this year's show. And we look forward to seeing everyone in Vegas.
Well, I know I can't wait to be in Vegas, but we all need to go, as Alena says, because you do really get to experience. There's so much learning opportunities. There's demos, there's networking. And of course, let's not forget, as you said, the many, many, many tile and stone exhibits at the Las Vegas Convention Center this April. And we want to, of course, say a heartfelt thank you to Ceramics of Italy, Tile Council of North America, and Tile of Spain for all of their help and insight into some of these trends. And for all of you out there, please do not forget, both registration and attendance are free. So register at coverings.com. And I can't wait to see you all in Las Vegas. Thank you, Alena.
Thank you. See you guys in Vegas.